Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. We are on Unit 13. We've just scratched the surface of our vocabulary for Unit 13 on facts and figures. And so today, we're going to work on some of those details because it's so much vocabulary, we're actually going to split it up into two separate classes. So we're going to be getting back to where we left off yesterday, completing our vocabulary, and I'll give you as much practice as I can, talking about facts, figures, trends over a period of time, and how we talk about all of those things. First, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking so I can correct you and give you back. And finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And now, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see exactly where we are in the notes, and we're going to head back to our presentation that we started in the last week. So, welcome back, Greg and Wilson. Nice to have you. Hello, everyone out there. Wilson.
Hello.
Hi, Greg. Wilson, you weren't here before, but you're going to catch up really quickly, okay? I don't think you were in the class last week, but you'll catch up fast.
Okay.
And before we begin, just quickly, as you know, the class material is always down here where it says class material. Okay? But for today, I'll give you a link so you can open the notes directly if you like. When you get that open, all the material we need, we go down to page 6 where we have today's unit. One second. There we go. I believe that's on page 6. Or for me, it's 6. Greg, where is everyone today? What's going on? It's awfully quiet. Greg, what's going on?
I have no idea. I have no idea where they are. It's a normal day in Spain. I don't know where is Daniel and Rebecca and everyone.
Yeah. Daniel will probably be here in a minute. I think he's with his kid. But yeah, we normally have 9 people in the class and 20 people watching, and I've got almost no one today. So, wow, that's really strange.
Really strange.
I hope there's no problem with the Hangout. I hope not. But if you got in, I guess there's no problem. Anyway, so, Wilson, because you're new, all the notes, all the links, all the presentations, all the material is always right here where we have links. And right now, we just have one presentation so far we've done. So there's only one link. If you click it, you can open it, and I'll also open it and share my screen with you. Okay, that's opening. It'll take a second. It looks like I did not do the summary of the last class. Uh-oh, that's not good. So let me add a summary quickly right now, just a little one. The last class was on the 22nd of January. That was class number 3. And Greg, help me out, because you were here.
Yeah. So, I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember. I really remember. I said that we made exercises.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll go to the place where we left. We had this thing we read.
Yes.
And we talked a bit about these numbers in the text.
Of course, yeah, true.
And that was it. We didn't get to the listening.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, quick note. What did we do? We read text and practiced the form of figures. We had fractions. We had percentages. We had dates and more. You should feel comfortable with the different ways of saying figures. Whoops. I'm not saying that you have to do it perfectly already, but you should feel comfortable at least with saying the different ways of saying figures from the last class. Now, what should you do about it? Well, I had no time to prepare anything over the weekend. It was impossible. So there was nothing to do. But we're going to do it today. We're going to do it today. So let's go over here, and we will get started. Daniel, where is Rebecca? It was your turn to watch Rebecca.
I was phoning her yesterday, and she told me
She told me?
she told me. I don't know.
Are you lying?
I'm lying.
Don't lie. I trusted you.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like last week as well, it was really, really low numbers. It's strange, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It makes me a little worried.
People still sick. Are still sick.
Yeah, but we got people like Wilson. Where are you in the world? Are you in Indonesia right now?
Yep.
So nobody's sick in Indonesia, right?
I'm sorry.
Everyone in Spain and Portugal has the flu, but in Indonesia, everyone is very healthy, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. So you've got to tell all your friends to come to class. We're very low numbers today. And Odie, I don't know where Odie's in Jakarta, but I don't know what's happening with him today.
Yeah, I'm also in Jakarta.
You and Odie are in Jakarta. Do you see Odie? Is he there?
Oh, I don't know him.
You don't know Odie?
How old is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
If I ask. Maybe I thought everyone in Jakarta knew each other.
No, it's a big city.
Oh, I see.
I don't even know my neighbor.
You should. You should get to know your neighbor, Wilson.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
All right, here's the plan. We've talked a bit about fractions, percents, dates. We'll have a chance to use those again, but even with the three of you, we're going to move forward, and hopefully more people will join us very soon. I hope so. So, we're going to work on the language of how do we say that things are not precisely A or B, but imprecisely or approximately. We're going to work on that language of talking through approximate numbers. So let's get a little exposure to how we do it. You're going to listen to an Irish music producer being interviewed about music downloads on the internet. What does he say? What does he say about the downloads, the sales of singles, sales of albums, the internet being a threat, the internet being an opportunity? Hey, Greg, what do you think he's going to say? If he's a music producer, how do you think he's going to feel about downloads?
Sorry, probably he wouldn't be too happy with the downloads.
Probably not.
Probably.
Right. So, I don't know. A lot of bands now famous bands, put out albums or at least songs for free to download. At least one.
U2, no? You think about U2?
Yeah, they didn't give us a choice. If you had what was it, iTunes? You had to listen to the new album?
Okay, yes.
Nice, huh? So, at the time this material was created, the material I got this from, you know, things were a little different. Downloading was illegal and you shouldn't do it. But I think attitudes have changed a little bit. What do the three of you think? Do you think that attitudes have changed, or do you think we're still in the dark ages where downloading is bad and buying is good? I mean, I think that we've evolved. Even companies have evolved a little bit. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, probably, but I think the business is not so clear when you allow people to download music or movies or every art. It's a good to share. It's very good to share, but I'm afraid it will be the death of art, of a kind of art, no?
I think it'll be the birth of a new art.
Yeah.
When one dies, a new is born. But tell me why. Why do you think it'll be the death of the art? Which art, you mean? Music or art in general?
Art in general, I think it is art. It's a difficult. People will live from the art. It's very
Right.
difficult to get incomes.
Make a living.
Sorry,
Look at the chat window. Make a living.
make a living with art, no?
Exactly. Make a living with art. You can even say make a living from art. It's better. Make a living from
Make
art.
a living from art. So
So downloading is bad.
downloading, you have not, you have no way to get incomes, and if you cannot dedicate you on art, that means that you have to get incomes in other things, other business, no?
Let's look at an example. Let's see if you're right. Do you know this guy? I'll put his picture big on the screen. Do you know this guy?
No.
I know
No?
that guy.
What do you know about him?
I think he's a stand-up comedian.
He is a stand-up comedian, and he's a director, and he's a writer.
Yeah,
He does
at
everything.
the FX show, Louis.
That's right. He's got a very odd TV show that he writes and directs. Have you seen it?
No, I just listened to an interview.
You should download it. You can download it.
Right.
So, here's a guy. I wanted to show you this because you said it was the death of art. But look at Louis C.K. Now he's a very famous comedian. He was kind of not really known by the public. Like where I'm from, he was famous because I used to see him like every weekend. He used to go to the same bar or whatever that I would go to, and he'd do stand-up because there's a lot of little bars out there, little stand-up places, and he'd do big clubs too. Now he's pretty famous because his TV show got noticed, and he's in movies and stuff as well. So, he did something remarkable very recently, just maybe 2 years ago, something very remarkable. He was going to do a concert, a big concert comedy show, where he goes to a big venue and does his comedy. And he said, you know what? This is true, by the way. He said, if I post, for example, if I make a little video and I post it and I let the film company put it on their YouTube channel, they'll get 20,000 hits, right? 20,000 viewers. He said, if I put it on my YouTube channel, I'll get 2 million hits. So guess what he decided to do? Can anyone guess? For his new concert video, guess what he decided to do?
Make a trailer, no?
Make a trailer? No. He decided to broadcast it without any company. He did it with his own money, and he sold it directly for a very low price. Sold it directly to the public. And this was like a big deal because he made his money. It cost us a lot less, and the money went directly to him to do future productions, right? And he said, people said, oh, you're trying to, be a rebel. And he said, no, there was really no reason to get a company involved. Why do I need to do it? It's just me telling jokes in a theater. All I needed to do was record it. So he had to spend a little money on the camera and the microphone, and the lights maybe, not even. The venue has lights, right? So I think this is a really good example because it kind of opens the door for other people to sell their products directly. That was the great hope of the internet, that you could have a direct contact with people. You don't need to go through anyone else. So I use that as a good example, Mr. Louis C.K. So
yeah, but sorry to disagree a little, because there is an exchange. No, he can get his public, and his public can get his obra, his
work,
masterpiece,
work.
And they can buy it.
Yes.
The problem in free download is there's no it's for nothing. You can download a work, but it's for nothing.
It doesn't have to be, though. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be pirated. What I'm saying is, of course, you're absolutely right. If it's pirated, then it's pirated. But on the other hand, this guy in particular does a lot of free stuff that he puts on his YouTube channel because he's got more followers than the film company he works with. And so all of that free stuff keeps the followers happy, and then they probably want to pay for a concert video. You know what I'm saying? Because he makes a lot of little short films. He always has, and puts them out there for free. So what I'm saying is, maybe, just a suggestion, maybe we thought about things in simplistic terms, and in reality it's more complex. Maybe putting stuff out there for free is just like a way to get people to notice you. Look at all those YouTube stars out there who, these kids, I don't know if you I'm just talking about YouTube, but it could be anything. All those kids out there that are 14, 16, now they're like superstars, right? I don't know if you've seen some of these people. People with 10 million followers. They're making money. YouTube actually started to pay them because they can sell ads or whatever. So I don't know. I just think it's become more complex, and maybe maybe we're looking at it differently. All right. Anyway, just an example, something for you to think about. I think your music producer is going to agree with you, Greg. So let's find out. I want you to use your ears. I want you to try to tell me answer those 5 questions if you can. Remember, if you want to cheat, you can always cheat by moving the slide forward to slide 10 and listen and read at the same time. But I prefer that you don't. Okay? I prefer you just use your ears. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Interviewer. So, what difference will the internet have on the way people buy music? Producer. Well, like everything else, downloads of singles are growing rapidly in Ireland. Oh wait, he's supposed to be Irish. He's got to sound like Bono. Well, like everything else, downloads of singles are growing rapidly in Ireland. They accounted for about 45% of singles sold last year, and that was from legal sites like iTunes. The real figure for downloads is probably a lot higher when you think of file sharing. peer-to-peer, and so on. So it's a problem for the music stores, but they aren't too worried. Sales of singles in-store have dropped slightly, but album sales haven't crashed like they have in the UK. And overall, turnover has stayed more or less the same. Interviewer: so why is it that if music sales in the rest of Europe have fallen substantially, why hasn't there been a significant drop here in Ireland? Producer: I think it's the way we think of our music, and we think in terms of albums, not singles. It could all change, of course, but for the moment, it's albums that people want. The number of people with broadband is growing gradually, but there are still a lot of places where broadband isn't available. So it's a lot quicker to just drive to the local music store. Interviewer: as a music producer, do you see the internet as a threat? Producer: yes and no. Peer-to-peer and file sharing will always be a problem for the big music retailers, but I think the internet is a fantastic tool, not just for letting people hear your music. Think of artists like Gnarls Barkley. Oh, this is old. Gnarls Barkley and Arctic Monkeys. If you want to make a single yourself, got feedback from someone. Everyone, I need to just mute for a second. There we go. Think of artists like Gnarls Barkley and Arctic Monkeys. If you want to make a single yourself and get yourself heard, broadband and digital technology make it a lot easier. And it means that the number of artists has risen substantially. People are listening to different sounds, and that can only be a good thing. And that is the opinion of our Irish music producer. So, you've only heard it one time. Let's see how many of those questions you can answer. Shall we give it a try?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. You're the only one speaking today. Shall we give it a try? Yes! Give it a try! All right. What does he say about the downloads of singles in Ireland? I'm not going to call on you. You tell me what you think.
He said that there is a lot of download of single in general, but specifically in Ireland, they prefer albums, no?
That is right. They prefer albums. So, have the sales of singles dropped?
No, I think he said the roughly the same.
Yeah. Have they dropped? Yes. Dropped a lot? No. In the UK, well, let's go to the second question. Let's see if you were listening, Wilson. What does he say about the sale of singles in music stores in Ireland?
I think that people are more interested in buying albums than singles. So there's quite a drop in the number of sales.
Of which?
Singles.
In which country? In
Ireland. I think it's in the UK, if I'm not mistaken.
In the UK, right. So, the sales of singles have dropped significantly in the UK, but not in Ireland. They've dropped, but not dropped significantly. And you're right, both of you, that albums are more important in Ireland, according to this producer. Let's, hang on just a second here. 3. Yeah, let's go. Paulo, what do you think about 3? What exactly does he say about the sale of albums in music stores in Ireland? The sale of albums. And try, if you can, to remember the way he said it. If you can.
I remember that the albums is drop in Ireland, but it's important for the producers, for the industry. But
So, do people in Ireland prefer albums or singles, according to the producer?
I don't know exactly, but I suppose that the people in Ireland prefer singles than
Uh-oh.
albums. No?
Uh-oh. The producer says, actually, let's put it on the screen. Look at the top right. Actually, could you read that for me, Paulo?
So what difference will the internet have in the way people buy music? Okay, read all,
No,
all
on
the
the
article.
top right, top right.
Top right. I think it's the way we think of our music, and we think in terms of albums, not singles. Okay. It could
So,
also, yeah.
so the answer to 3 would be
Albums, the people in Ireland prefer albums, to buy albums in music stores in Ireland.
So what would we say about the sales then? What do you recall, or what would you imagine if we can say about the sales?
Imagining the sales is up.
Okay. Well, they're certainly not down. That's true. I don't know if they're up, but they're certainly not down.
I suppose that by internet is cut the sales on these music stores.
Exactly. So the sales figures have been cut. What he says exactly is album sales haven't crashed like they did in the UK. So if we're talking about a crash, are we talking about a big change or a little change, Paulo? A big drop or a little drop? In the UK, sales crashed.
Russia, big drop.
Big drop, crashed, exactly, like the stock market crash. All right, and Mr. Daniel, what does the producer say about the internet being a threat? Is it a threat?
On the one hand,
Yeah.
it would be a threat, but on the other hand, it could be an opportunity to know new groups.
That's what he says. Who's it a threat to?
The threat is download albums by P2P or share files.
Right. And class? Who is it a threat to, according to the producer? To whom is it a threat? Class, all of you. Who's it a threat to? The internet. Who's that a threat to, according to the producer? Daniel's right. The threat is piracy. So that's a threat to class. All of you.
I don't know.
Really? Come on. Is it a threat to the artist or a threat to the
To the producer, no?
to the producers? Right. Not even to the producers, actually. To the retailers more than anything else.
Yes. To the biggest retailers, no? Biggest.
Yeah. Big retailers. What's an example of a retailer in music, Greg? Can you think of a name brand that we might all know?
I think Virgin. Or
Yeah, Virgin Megastore or something like that. Virgin
probably
Music.
now iTunes, no?
Yeah. Virgin is the one that comes to mind because it's quite international. Right?
Yep.
Sony, good Daniel. Yeah, Sony. I guess there's Sony's music stores. Okay. So it turns out that for the producer, maybe for the producer, but maybe for the artist and producer, it's actually an opportunity more than a threat, right? According to what this guy said. All right. By the way, let's just say a quick hello to, how do I say your name? Is it Na? Because I saw you come in, but I didn't have a chance to say hello. Na? Is that right?
Yeah,
Hello,
I'm with
Na.
you. Yeah, I'm with you.
Where are you from, Na?
I'm from Bahrain.
Bahrain. Oh, my goodness. Are you there now? In Bahrain? Or are you outside the country?
Now,
Yes,
No, now in Bahrain now.
you're in Bahrain. Okay,
Yeah.
nice to have you. Am I saying your name correctly? Na? Like that?
My name Najib. Najib.
Najib. Ah.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, Na or Najib?
As you like.
As you like. I'm going to say Na, because Na is funny. Na.
Okay. That's easy now. Yeah.
Very good. So, Na, we've done a little listening to an interview. We're talking about facts and figures and how to talk about figures in different ways. So what we're going to focus on now is how to talk about approximate figures, not exact figures. So
Yeah.
let's take a look here, number 7. Where would you put these phrases from the audio, the one you just listened to? Where would you put these phrases on the line? We've got fast and a big fall on the far left,
Yeah.
a fast and big rise on the far right, and we've got everything in the middle. So I want you to take the first one and tell me where it matches on the timeline.
Okay. Fast and big fall. Drop slightly.
So fast, big fall, we could say
Drop
drop
slightly.
slightly for fast, big fall, slightly? Big
Yeah.
fall? Are you sure?
Big fall. Yeah.
Slightly?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with you about that. Class, where would you put slightly?
I'm confused between rise substantially and drop slightly.
Okay. Well, one thing we can do is you can always go back to the text if you like. And the text, by the way, don't forget you have the link in the notes, but you can also click on this link in the chat window if you want to take a look close up. So you can find these words in the text, the ones that I just read when I read the interview. Okay? And look, you can actually see first little speech. Look at the very bottom. It says sales of singles. Can you see that?
Yes, left or right?
So at the very bottom, it says sales of singles in store have dropped slightly, but album sales haven't crashed. Earlier, we said crashed was something big, so slightly must be the opposite because this is but, and but is the contrast. So let's go back for a second. So where are we going to put drop slightly? Big fall or small fall? According to what we just read a second ago.
Drop slightly. Big fall.
I don't agree. Class, what do you think?
A small fall.
It's small because compared to albums, albums crashed. That's a big fall. And so slightly must mean the opposite. The opposite of crash. Drop slightly. All right?
Yeah.
So always consult the text because the text is where you're going to get the information from. Okay, so we have small fall is drop slightly. Okay? What else? Greg, what would you put for a big fall?
For a big fall, I would put crash.
Okay, and what else?
And probably a significant drop.
I agree. So, on the far left, crash, significant drop. The next one over, small or slow fall, is drop slightly. All right?
Yeah.
Paulo, what do you think about no change?
Sorry, repeat, please.
What do you think about the middle? No change at all.
No change. It stay the same.
Stay the same. Absolutely. Wilson, small or slow rise?
Excuse me?
Small or slow rise? The second one to the right. Small or slow rise?
Oh, so okay. I would pick rise substantially. Too fast, big rise.
Okay, that's not what I asked, but that's okay. That's
Oh,
okay.
really? So what exactly do you ask?
I said small rise, but that's okay. You did the big rise. You said rise substantially. Is there another one we could choose as well?
Grow
Yeah,
rapidly.
actually, nah, I'm going to mute your microphone for a second because we're getting lots of noise. So I'm going to mute you, but when you're ready to speak, you can turn it back on, okay? Because we're hearing an echo. When you're ready to speak, you can turn it back on. I'm sorry, say again, Wilson?
I would pick grow rapidly in the fast big
Absolutely.
rise.
I agree. So, big rise, rise substantially, grow rapidly. Okay, and Daniel, that leaves small or slow rise. So, what's left?
Rise substantially.
For small rise? Substantially is small? No.
No, it's gradually.
Gradually, right.
Gradually. Grow gradually.
That's it. So just to recap, I'm going to go from left to right. The big rise, the big fall first, and then the big rise last. So the big fall, crash, significant drop. Small fall, drop significantly. No change, stayed the same. Small rise, grow gradually. Big rise, grow rapidly, or rise substantially. These are really good vocabulary words for you to use, and I want to give you a chance to use them next. Where on the line would you put the phrases in italics? So it's hard to see it's a little hard to see, but shoots up is the italic word. What you're going to do is try to match it up. Now that you know we've already done some of these words for the text, you're going to take some more words that native speakers would use, like shoots up, plummet, and other ones. Noticeable rise, levels off, things like that. If you're not sure, just make a guess. Okay? Greg, try number one.
Okay. Oil price shoots up by 30% on Middle East worries. I think it's a big rise. Shoot up.
Shoots up. A big rise, I agree. Where might you see this text, the one you just read? Where might you see this? Where do you think you would see this text? The one you just read, where do you think you would see that? What's the context?
In a newspaper of stock option, no? Or financial newspaper.
Financial news, yeah. Maybe it's a headline of a news story in the Financial Times or something. Okay? Yeah. So, what's another way to say big rise, Greg?
To shoot up.
To shoot up, that's it.
Shoot up.
All right. Paulo, take number two for us. Remember, you're going to have to guess if you're not sure. Make an educated guess.
Both plummets to all-time low. All-time low.
All-time low, right.
Low. No change.
No change is low. What's the opposite of low? Low and...
Rise.
Say
low,
what?
Low. The opposite is rise.
Well, low is an adjective. So rise is a verb. Low.
Okay.
Low. Baixo.
High.
What? High. Exactly.
High.
So if gold is plummeting and plummet is a verb, is it going up or down?
Então, small fall. Slow, small fall.
All-time low? All-time in the entire history? All-time low? It's small? All-time low? What do you think?
All the time low.
Right. If it's the all-time low, is that a small fall?
No,
Or is that
no change. All the time, no change.
Ah,
Yeah.
no, wait a second. All-time low means the lowest ever.
Yes.
The lowest ever.
Never change.
No, there's a big
No.
change.
Okay.
Big change.
All time fast, big fall.
Big fall, exactly. Yeah. So, plummet means big fall.
Okay.
It's a good word. Stock, thank you. Stock can plummet. Tell me something, Paulo. Do you ever follow the stock market in New York? The big stock market?
No. Sometimes, like Petrobras. It's
Okay,
terrible.
good. For example, let's look about how do you say Petrobras, is it?
Yes, you're right.
So-
Petrobras.
So that's Petrobras, right?
Yes, because we have a problem now with Petrobras because the corruption fall down, big fall the stock market.
Big fall.
Yeah.
What's the word for big fall? What's the word? We just learned. Big fall. The word we just learned 2 seconds ago.
Plummet.
Plummet, exactly.
Yes, the stock market of Petrobras plummets. Terrible plummet.
Okay, that's a good example. So Petrobras plummeted because of the corruption scandal. Plummeted.
Yes, plummet.
You can use it as a verb. Okay, good. Let's go to Mr. Na. Are you there, Mr. Na? You can turn your microphone back on.
Yeah.
There you are. I want you to try number 3. Okay, and you're going to use the sentence to give you some general idea about. Well, this one's easy, actually. I think
Yeah.
you won't have trouble. Try number 3.
There are worrying signs of significant increase in unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Fast,
Fast what?
small rise.
I like your first answer better. You said fast.
Fast,
Fast what? Rise or fall?
big rise. Fast, big rise.
Exactly. It's big. It's big and it's fast. A significant increase. That's right. That's it. Very good. And let's see, who did I miss? Wilson? I don't know if I gave you one. I forgot. Did I give you one?
No, you didn't.
Number 4.
Doctors express concern at noticeable rise in teenage smoking. I think it's a fast, big rise.
I think so too. It was I forgot which one it was. You were just saying.
Number
It's a
4.
noticeable rise. Noticeable rise. And you said big rise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so in this context. It's a big rise. Noticeable. Noticeable means it's out of the ordinary. We all noticed it. Okay? I'm lost. I don't know who's next. I think it's Daniel for 5.
We'll see a slight fall in house price as mortgages rise. A slight fall.
Slight fall.
It's a small fall.
Yeah, slight
Slow,
is
small fall.
Slight is small. That's it. Okay. We are back to. Let's see. Odie, you're just going to watch and learn for a moment because you weren't here earlier. And what we're doing is matching up those special native sounding words with the chart at the bottom. We've already done a set of words. This is a second set. So we're actually getting 2 sets of vocabulary for how we talk about changes. Rise, fall, or stay the same. Those are basically our 3 options. Okay, so just watch and follow along for a moment.
All right.
Greg, let's go back to you for 6.
Okay. All quiet as FTSE level off.
Financial Times. What's FTSE?
And I have no idea.
I'm blanking on it. I can't remember now. FTSE. I should know it. Well, Securities and Exchange, I guess. I have to look it up. I'm not sure. FTSE, because FC should be Securities and Exchange. But FT, it's, oh, here it is. It is,
An index.
it's an index, yeah. But I'm trying to see what it stands for. It should be Securities Exchange. Let's see. FTSE 100 Index. They don't say what it stands for. Anyway, it's pronounced FTSE, but they don't say what it stands for. Huh. Is it Financial Times? Yeah, it's Financial Times. Oh, and SC is Stock Exchange, not Security Exchange. But that means basically the same thing. Anyway, so we're going to call it the FTSE. So, all quiet as the FTSE levels off.
I think it means there is no change or a few change, no?
No change, basically, or very little change. Yep, so we'll put that right in the middle. Right in the middle. The FTSE levels off. All right, Mr. Odie, this one is not so difficult. I think you won't have trouble with it, even though you weren't here. Try number 7 for us and put it on the timeline.
All right. A substantial drop in exports predicted as euro rises. Substantial drop in export predicted.
So look at that. Are we talking about a big fall,
Mhm.
no change, a big rise, a small fall? We've got several choices there. What do you think it means?
It means substantial drop. It is important drop. So it is big fall.
Big what?
Fall, big fall.
Big fall is noticeable drop. Big fall is correct.
Yeah, because substantial drop.
Substantial means that it's, as you said, important, or
Yeah.
it has a lot of substance, meaning that it's something that means a lot to us. If we lost all of our money, that would mean a lot to us. If we're poor now, so it's substantial. You're right. Number 7 is big fall.
Okay.
Number 8. Who wants it? I lost my place. I don't know who's next. Going once? Going twice?
Yeah, I go.
Go for it.
A cost of borrowing.
Borrowing.
Borrowing rockets as interest rates double. I
This
think
is
it's
a
a
verb here.
big rise.
Big rise. To rocket is a rise. And that's it. So, big fall, plummet, drop, big rise, rocket, shoot up,
Borrow.
increase.
Borrow.
Right?
Can I borrow your phone? Borrow your phone.
What's that?
Borrow. Can you repeat that pronunciation of borrows? I'm really a little bit confused. It's borrow or borrow?
Well, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a different accent. I say borrow, but it doesn't matter.
Borrow.
That's my accent. That's your
Okay.
East Coast American accent. But you could say it, borrow. I'm going to borrow. Pardon me. May I borrow your grey poupon? I guess you can say it in your James Bond accent too, if you like. That's how I say it, though. Borrow. But the point is, it's 3 syllables. Borrowing. Borrowing. Because I wasn't hearing the 3rd syllable. So, now you have some language for approximate figures, not just black and white, up or down, but slightly, significantly. Also, verbs like plummet, shoot up. Before we get to let's stop here then. What I want you to do is talk about where you live. Use as many phrases that we learned just a moment ago as you can. By the way, I put them on the screen to make it easier for you. To talk about the changes in the cost of living in your country in the last 10 years. And I want you to use as many of these as you can. I put them there because I don't want you to have to remember them. I want you to see them and put them into practice. Okay? So, here's an example. I can tell you about my experience. When I moved, when I was a kid, I moved from Philadelphia to New York. I remember my apartment in New York when I was in university it wasn't even an apartment. It was really small, and it was underneath the building, almost in a basement. So it's not even, later I found out that it was not even legal to rent that space. but it was the cheapest thing I could find, and it was about $1,100 15 years ago, about $1,100. And it was not big at all. I don't know how big, but quite small. Basically, 2-room apartment, $1,100. And I don't know how many square meters or whatever, but, okay for one person. Not bad for one person, but nothing great. So $1,100. Now, that apartment would be probably close to double. Not exactly double, but close to it. So over the last 15 years, even bad apartments have gone up. So I'd say you'd probably find it for about $1,500 or $1,600. What about where you live? So in other words, for me, real estate prices have not really leveled off in New York. What about where you live?
Well, in Spain, a few years ago, the price of the apartment and houses plummeted in the level of 206. So it's a significant drop to a 20%, I think. Isn't it, Daniel?
You mean in 2006? I didn't understand. You said 200?
2006. Yes, 2006.
Ah, okay. So in 2006 it plummeted. The market plummeted.
No, it's plummeted, and the level of the price is
right.
the same as in 2006. Nowadays.
I know that there's a lot of problems with the banks in Spain.
Yeah.
So it's probably because of the housing. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It's the problem is what we call the bubble, the housing bubble, no?
Housing bubble, right? Housing bubble. It burst. It burst.
It burst. Yeah. Exploding. No. Okay.
Exactly. What about out there in Indonesia? We've got our 2 Indonesians. What about the cost of living? It's not just apartments, it's everything. It's what food costs, what clothing costs. The cost of living is everything that is not related to something extra, the basics. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I can say that the cost of living has risen gradually. It's because the oil price here has also risen. So the seller and the market has to equilibrate.
Not equilibrate, but level off, because that's our key word.
Level off, okay.
There you go. So, would you say it was how would you describe the rise?
Do you mean is it slightly or substantially? Do you mean that?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Slightly, substantially, gradually. What would you say?
It's a small rise, though.
Small rise. So it's
Yeah.
risen gradually. Over how long?
Yeah. Over the years, a few
So
years.
so give me an example. What's the price of something that we all know now as opposed to 10 years ago, for example?
10 years ago, 1 liter of solar, gas, if you call it gasoline there, gasoline. It's
Uh,
about,
you mean for your car?
yeah.
Gas, yeah.
Oh, so it's not oil though, it's gasoline. Yeah, oh my God.
In American English, we say gas. In British English, they say petrol.
Okay, gas then, gas.
Okay.
So the gas price in here, when in like 2006, I don't know, I forgot. It's about. I was a little though. I don't really know the news. Maybe it's only like 7,000 rupiah.
Mm-hmm. So
But now
what's that in euros or dollars or something?
it's like it's not even a dollar, almost a dollar.
Okay.
But now it's like 9,000,
Mm-hmm. So what's that in dollars?
almost $1. Still
Now,
almost $1.
hang on a second. It went from 900 to 9,000?
No, from 7,000 to 9,000 per liter.
Oh, I understand now. Okay, got it. So it's a gradual rise over 10 years from 9,000 to 7,000. So like 70 cents to 90 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
Why is gasoline so cheap?
Do you think it's cheap?
Of course. Are you kidding me? It's $5 last time I was in New York.
Well, we Indonesians think it's really expensive here.
So it's a relative cost of living. Relative to the cost of living in Indonesia, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. And Odie, what do you think? So, do you agree? Can you give another example? Do you think the cost of living is gradually rising or has been gradually rising? Odie?
Yeah, yeah, I agree because, but it is not particular. I mean, in particular, only gasoline or
Right.
anything. It's um, the cost of living in Jakarta is very expensive, but actually it's depend on your style. I mean, the way your lifestyle. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's depend on your lifestyle. There is a lot of options. So for me, it's like how do I say it? I want to use one of these phrase.
You should. You should use
Yes,
one or more.
I don't know. I don't know which ones. I okay. Then
Experiment.
it's likely. No, no. It's uh. What about noticeable rise? What is it? I don't.
Noticeable rise. Well, noticeable would be something out of the ordinary, like what Paulo was saying about Petrobras. So it's a noticeable drop. It plummeted. It's a noticeable drop. It's not what we would have expected in a normal situation. So in your case, that's not really true, right? There is no noticeable drops or rises, right?
No. Actually, since the new president, the election, there is a noticeable rise because
Ah,
yeah, in a few months ago, gasoline only about mm, I don't know seven no, no, about 8,000 and now uh I mean because he raised the gasoline price, everything goes high because the transportation is higher.
what's another way to
The
say
cost of
everything goes high? What's another way to say that?
every,
Everything else.
everything else.
Help him out, class. Another way to say goes high or went high.
Daniel,
Everything
Daniel,
else.
very keen student.
What's the opposite of plummet? The opposite of plummet.
To shoot up.
Shoot up. Everything else. Odie, everything else.
Everything else
Spike.
stood up.
Good.
Spike.
Spiked?
I like that.
Spiked.
Everything else spikes.
Spiked, because you're talking about the past. Everything else spiked. Everything else shot up.
Everything
Which makes sense
else.
because oil prices affect everything because we use it in
Yeah.
everything. So it
And
makes a lot of sense.
recently he dropped the, I mean, he lowered the price again, but everything stay in every other, how do I say it? Every another price is still still high. I mean, another
The
price
prices
cannot
have,
go down.
yeah, they've leveled off.
Yeah.
They
Even
haven't
though the
dropped.
game,
They've just leveled off at that price, leveled off high.
yeah.
So you can say level off to be no change. Here you could say it. They've leveled off at that price, meaning they haven't
Okay.
changed. All right, listen, we're going to stop here. And I didn't give everyone a chance to speak. Sorry about that, but we're out of time. But listen, we're going to move on to a new section, but we're going to come back to this because I want you to use your language of rising, falling, dropping, increasing to talk about a company. And I'm going to give you something to practice with. So I'm going to try my best to send you a little homework tonight. The person I was speaking to the most just left. Nah, I was talking to you and you left. I'm going to try to give you a little homework tonight to practice, and then we will work on this together tomorrow, but we're also going to move on to a new section because otherwise we're going to have like 4 classes on vocabulary. We need to move on. So we'll be working on the business skills as well coming up. All right, so new area, still facts and figures, but I'll give you a chance to use some of that vocabulary after you've had some practice. Okay? So, see you tomorrow at the same hour for Getting Results in Business. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye
See
bye.
you
Thank
soon.
you. Bye bye.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye.